Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are the 30th of July and I am in a pool. Hey guys, welcome back. As I already mentioned, I'm in the pool. Behind me you can see wonderful scenery, and let me get out of the way of the beach resort that I am currently spending my vacation here in Turkey, in the area of Antalya. And it is, let me check, so it is 7:45 a.m. local time, early. Most of the people are still in their beds in the hotel rooms, but I am here in the pool because I wanted to do a little video review of a watch that I recently got into my hands, and I want to talk about it because I really like what I see. Without any further ado, the watch that I'm talking about is this one. So let me see if it's gonna zoom in. There we go. So the watch that I have in my hands here is called SEIKO. I mean, it's known by the people by the name SEIKO Monster. That said, the watch, model number is SRP307K1. So what it is, it's a dive watch, obviously, the way you can see how it is put together. A very nice one in stainless steel, luminous markers. But let me give you the specification of this watch. So the SEIKO Monster, this is so-called the version 2. There was a version prior to that, and I'll talk about the differences. And this one was available somewhere from the August 2012, and it's still available today. Price wise, these ones can be had anywhere between, I seen them online, from 230 euros up to 300 something euros. So you need to shop around to get yourself a good deal. So case is stainless steel. It's a combination of polished and brushed case. As you can see here on the lunette, this piece here is polished, which is very nice, and this is brushed. The crown is bead blasted, also brushed and hatched for a better grip. And then again on the other side, as you can see here, the case back, I'm gonna show you, looks like this. There we go. Has what they call here, this wave is known also as the SEIKO tsunami. There we go, it's visible better. It says SEIKO, water resistant, 200 meters, yada yada yada. The dimensions of this watch are 43 millimeters across, 47 lug to lug, and the thickness is 13 millimeters. As it is now on this aftermarket NATO strap, the watch is around 110 grams heavy. And if you this particular model, because there are like 5 variations of it, comes on the bracelets, which I have here. I'm gonna show you to you guys. So here is the bracelet. On the bracelet, the weight is around 180 grams. Flip lock design with a push button activation. Stainless steel. It's a nice bracelet. The only downside of this bracelet is it uses the pin and sleeve method of resizing, so it doesn't have screws here on the side, and that might be, that's not that easy to resize, and I advise you to go to a certified watchmaker to resize this watch. Okay, back to the timepiece. What else do we have here? Crystal is mineral. It's called Hardex. The Hardex crystal is known that it's really even more impact resistible than sapphire is, but it's more prone to scratches compared to the sapphire crystals. Screw down crown, 200-meter water resistancy. It has the date, what you can see here, complication. You know, to me, I'm not a fan of the date piece. I just would prefer to have the date, but you know, this is how it is on this watch. We talked already about the unidirectional bezel, 60-minute indicator, and you can use that for timing things. For example, if I would want to time 10 minutes, I would turn the bezel around and align it with my minute hand like this. So this would be my starting point, and then if I would say I want to, you know, time 15 minutes, you know, up to here, there would be 15 minutes timed. So this is a useful thing, not only if you are a diver or you know, you can use this in most of the applications where you want to time something. As I said, unidirectional, it rotates only on one side, and you know, that's good, you know, because it stays in place. How the case is made though, you know, you can see here it has a bit of a lip, and so it does here. So when you want to rotate that, this is the piece which you know, where you can rotate the bezel. So it's not like you can't hold it here, because it's obviously hidden behind the protection of the case. There. That's about it when it comes to the, you know, the specification. The last but not least, obviously, is the movement. The movement is called, I mean, the designation of the movement is a 4R36. It's an automatic movement which features 24 joules, and it runs at 21.6 VPH with a power reserve of 41 hours. Nothing super impressive there, but you know, it's a good movement. It's a very reliable movement. With this movement now on the version 2, there are two main differences compared to the previous movement on the version 1, and that is that this movement hacks, meaning when I would unscrew the crown and pull the crown to the last position, the second hand would stop. So that's good for, you know, synchronizing your time or when you are adjusting time. And then the second thing is you can wind manually this watch, meaning that, you know, when the watch is stopped and it's not working, you were not wearing it, so therefore it wasn't winding. You can start it by manually winding. In the older Monster, you had to shake it to get the rotor inside going, and you know, by that wind the watch and then put it on the hand, which, you know, wasn't the most elegant solution for this watch. Okay, so that's that. Comparison with the previous Monster, I mean, design wise and size is the same. The difference, as I said, was the movement. This one is the hacking, and it is the manual wind. And another thing which is the difference are the hour markers. This one has, what you can see, like kind of pointy hour markers or round. People tend to call these ones also as teeth. They look a bit like teeth. The previous one, and I have a picture here, I might show you that. If I come here, let me see, you're gonna see, that's the previous one. As you can see, this one only, you know, had like kind of normal hour markers. It didn't have these teeth. It still had the date, obviously. And you can see on the markers it had little you know, indications of 10, 20, 40 as it went around. You know, the markers aligned with the bezel minutes, so 60 minutes for the round. This one, as you can see, has nothing. Doesn't have these 10, 20, 40 markers around, and I really prefer this. Last but not least, of course, we need to mention that you know, this watch has on the hour markers applied the Super Luminova. In this case, SEIKO's proprietary Lumi Bright, I think it's called. Let me look at my cheat sheet here. So Lumi Bright compound, yeah, and that's really, you know, really nice, because you can see this, you know, this charges over there or on the daylight. And maybe if I just bumps the camera, I didn't want to do that. Nah, it's not gonna show here, but you know, it glows in the dark. You can see this watch in a pitch dark. If you, wake up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the middle of the night or whatnot, you pick up the watch and the watch is super legible in the dark. You're able to tell off time easily on this watch. So that's and they are known, SEIKO is known for that Lumi-Bright compound, and that's applied on these hour markers and of course on the hands. Therefore you're able, and this little piece here on the second hand, therefore you are able to read time in the dark, and that's very nice. Another thing which I forgot to mention is, as you can see, there are little holes here on the case, and that's very important because this allows you to very easily swap out the bracelet and put on, like I put a NATO strap on this one. I have another one here in black, and that can be done with anything pretty much which can come into this hole to depress the spring bar inside, so you can remove off the spring bar and reattach the bracelet or put on another strap, a rubber strap for example, which is also very popular with this watch. I use with mine this little tool from Bergeron, which is a fork on one side and a little pin pusher on the other one. So what I would do is I would insert this tool here, depress this down, and by that, come on, focus. Let's do it like this. So yeah, so you see guys, so I would depress this down and the spring bar will move inside, and therefore I would be able to get the bracelet off. You don't need to get this tool because this one's cost like 20-30 bucks, but they are really good, probably best ones. But you can get anything which you can get inside, any kind of pin or a larger needle or something that would be able to depress this to remove this, and that's nice because you can do it quickly. If this is inside, then you need to fiddle around with the other part of this with the fork, to depress this from the inside, and that's already not so easy for everybody. So that's that. We talk a bit about the differences to the old, and we're gonna talk a bit about the application. So obviously this is a dive watch, so it might not be for everybody. Somebody might say it's too rugged and whatnot, but honestly speaking, when you put it on a bracelet, just try to put the bracelet next to it to get the idea how it looks like. It transforms into something which is manageable, I think, in everyday application. So you could wear this on a suit, to be completely honest with you, or in an office environment, and it wouldn't look out of place. I think it would look still very, very decent without causing too much attention. Of course, on this green, army green NATO strap, canvas strap, it looks more military, it looks more professional application wise, and maybe not for everybody, but but that's the beauty of it. You can swap this around and make it look a bit differently. What else we have here? So I think anybody can wear it, honestly speaking about that. It is, the way that it's done, it does not feel like a 200-300 euro watch. It really feels much more expensive. Just the corners are brushed nicely. The finishing is good. I've been swimming with it for a couple of days now here on the vacation, no problem whatsoever with water resistancy, and SEIKO usually lie for better on their water resistance. I just saw a video on YouTube where they were testing some 1,000-meter rated watches that they have, and they were going down up to 3,000 meters, and it wasn't a problem, for these watches. So these are very, very rugged and very popular, watches for the divers. But on the other hand, you don't need to be a diver. You could be a common Joe like me. This is a great vacation watch. That's why I have this one with me. If you have watches which are more expensive in your collection, and I have a couple, and you guys know, because I reviewed on my channel my Rolex GMT or the Datejust and so on. These watches are nice and you can wear them here in the water or on your vacation, it's not a problem. But if you're like me and you like to kind of protect some of the more expensive pieces that you have, and there's nothing wrong with that. At least I think it's not. Then this is a great alternative to have, you know, to buy yourself. Last but not least, some pros and cons. I think the pros on these ones are, you know, the price is great, it looks great, it does what it says on the tin. It's a really nice watch. You're not gonna be disappointed if you get this watch. The negatives that I have found out, maybe two of them. One is when you're turning the bezel here, you know, this is quite pointy, so you might pinch your finger when you're turning this around. That's one thing. And the second one is there is some imperfections of the application of the Super Luminova compound, or Lumi-Bright as they call it, to the dial. And as you can see, the markers have a little silver metallic piece surrounding the Lumi-Bright, and some of them you can see there is a little bit of Lumi-Bright on the, you know, went like over the marker itself and kind of ended up on the edge of this metal piece that is surrounding the teeth. That's, you know, I can see that. I've seen some in the middle one, which is just now covered by the hour hand, and I don't know if we would see it, guys, anyway. Let me try to move it just for the sake of this experiment. And let's unscrew the crown. Okay, as you can see now I pulled the crown out and the second hand stopped, and this was, you know, the hacking piece that we talked about, which was not, you know, possible in the older Monster. But let me see. So this marker here, I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see. If you look at the middle, where this metal stripe is going between the two pieces of the Luminova at 12 o'clock here on the top, you might be able to notice, or might not be able to notice, there is just visible here. As you can see, there is a little Luminova in between the markers. There is visible here. You need to watch here. There. So I know it's a super little thing, but you know, people that, you know, like watches, they're usually quite anal when it comes to imperfections. But you know, for the price that this cost, you know, I would be pissed if that would be on my you know, 8-9K Rolex. But you know, on this 200-300 euro watch, you know, who cares, really? Not important. Crown screws in pretty easy. There we go. The second start, you know, running again once the crown is in. And let's submerge it also for some swimming activity. There we go. And maybe just for you to see how it looks on the wrist, I'll put it on the right one. It's gonna be easier, like this. There we go. This is how it looks like on the wrist. You guys can see it's a great fit. My wrist is around 18 centimeters, so you know, by this watch being 43, you know, you can wear it also if your wrist isn't super big. Or some of the SEIKO, you know, divers are around 47-50 millimeters in width, and then luck to luck they're over 50, so maybe not, you know, for everybody. But this one can be worn, you know, pretty much by anybody, also if you have smaller wrists. There. So this was pretty much everything what I want to talk to you about this particular watch. I hope you have enjoyed this video and you have found it useful. If you did so, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. And for now, I'll get back to my birthday and enjoying myself here in the wonderful Turkey. And I wish you all the best and a great day. Bye for now.